Chapter 628. Slap. Naruto reached out his right hand and pressed it against Sage of Six Paths' right hand without hesitation. There was nothing to hesitate about. Never-ending efforts, tenacious and unyielding perseverance, this has always been Naruto's character. Even when he was ostracized by the whole village and mocked by his classmates, Naruto still firmly believed that he could become Naruto and worked hard for it. Of course, this was not a story of hard work. In this world, as long as you worked hard, you could become strong. It was just a joke. Without hacks, no matter how hard you worked, you would only be a minor character. In the original work, Naruto was Naruto's #1 hacks, and he finally succeeded in becoming Naruto. However, when Hinata's hacks were far stronger than Naruto's, Naruto did not even have the profession of Naruto, let alone become Naruto. However, Naruto was still the child of the realm. Even if Nine-Tails' hacks were sealed, he still had other hacks to use. Sage of Six Paths. Selling Sage's hacks, the full set is only 998. Kurama. Sage of Six Paths turned to Nine-Tails. From now on, you will fight side by side with this child. Sage of Six Paths GM version. Nine-Tails' hacks have been rebooted. Nine-Tails had a complicated look in his eyes. He did not say anything. He just lay on the ground as if he was throwing a tantrum, turned his face away, and closed his eyes again. However, it was good that the seal was lifted. Kyuubi didn't forget how much chakra a certain Byakugan girl deceived him in the name of Child of Prophecy. However, this legendary Child of the Prophecy had released that person with his own hands. After the seal was lifted, he must teach that damn woman a lesson with his own hands. After all, this was Naruto's body. Even if he gets beaten up, what does it have to do with me, Kurama? Nine-Tails thought. Looking at the seal on the iron door, the Sage of the Six Paths hesitated for a moment. He could feel that there were 2 chakra hidden in the seal. They were not ordinary chakra, but chakra that contained the power of the soul. That state was similar to Six Paths Immortal's current state. They were both souls, but they were very weak. Even if they appeared, they could only reappear for a short period of time. The Six Paths Immortal nodded slowly. That couple was quite capable. Whirlpool Kushina. Or Wind Kushina. In the Pure Land world, the Immortal of the Six Paths had secretly met him once. After all, she was the mother of an Azura reincarnated, and Naruto was also the Child of Prophecy. As for Namake's Minato, he went to the Pure Land world recently, and Rakudo Sunnin also secretly paid attention to him. Naruto, go and open the seal. Naruto was stunned. Ah. After a pause, Naruto looked solemnly at Nine-Tails, hesitated, and then said to the Six Paths Immortal, I still want to get the approval of Nine-Tails. The Six Paths Immortal looked at Naruto. Naruto looked at Nine-Tails and said calmly, Nine-Tails hasn't really recognized me yet. Since we are fighting side by side, we must recognize each other. Nine-Tails opened one eye, looked at Naruto, and then closed it again. The Six Paths Immortal also smiled. Perhaps in many aspects, Naruto was not as good as Sasuke and Hinata, but Naruto had better qualities, which was why the Six Paths Immortal appreciated Naruto the most. As long as he opened the door, Naruto could obtain great power. With the Six Paths Immortal's words, Nine-Tails would not snatch Naruto's body. But Naruto didn't want to just use the power of Nine-Tails, but he wanted to get the approval of Nine-Tails and become a real partner with Nine-Tails. Kurama, maybe you can find your value this time. After saying that, the Six Paths Immortal's figure gradually faded until it completely disappeared. Naruto touched his nose embarrassedly, as if he didn't know what to say. I'll open the seal first. Naruto's tone had an inexplicable happiness. I don't know how Kurama's hair feels. Nine-Tails glared at Naruto. I'm kidding, hee. Hinata, who was far away in the Imperial City, didn't know that the Six Paths Immortal had personally appeared to help Naruto and hoped that Naruto could join Hinata's expedition team. During this time, Hinata was very busy. Hinata had a lot of things to do as he was about to leave the shinobi world. Arrange national affairs. Prepare all kinds of food to seal in scrolls. Have dinner with friends. Have dinner and chat with family. Most importantly, Hinata reintroduced Sasuke to Orochimaru and hoped that Sasuke could continue to learn from Orochimaru for a while. As mentioned before, Orochimaru was a strict scientist. During the cooperation between Hinata and Orochimaru, Orochimaru entertained Hinata with a lot of delicious food. In order to make these delicious food, the strict Orochimaru did some experiments to make the best ratio of ingredients, which made Hinata unable to forget for a long time. Because of this, Hinata and Orochimaru were able to maintain a long-term cooperation. After Hinata became the empress, she directly used her power to transfer Orochimaru to her side. Now that Hinata was about to leave the shinobi world, she naturally hoped that Sasuke could master these skills. For this reason, Sasuke was admitted to the ninja hospital 3 times in a row in 7 days, and really became a regular there. Of course, Sasuke wasn't hospitalized because of injury. After all, Hinata himself also knows medical ninjutsu, and in the case of using vitality, his medical ability is far beyond Tsunade. But even if Hinata's medical ninjutsu is powerful, when a person is repeatedly seriously injured, healed, the other party's spiritual will can't stand it. In fact, Hinata didn't expect Sasuke to be so tenacious this time. Didn't he also cook for himself when he lived alone? Why is he so unwilling to cook for himself? Hinata was also unhappy, and the direct result of this incident was that Hinata beat Sasuke for the first time. He almost vomited. Of course, Sasuke also got a considerable degree of training in the battle. Perhaps he was even enjoying it. In short, one was willing to be beaten, and the other was willing to be beaten. Hinata is not a real devil. Alas, time really flies. Lying in the small courtyard leisurely basking in the sun, Hinata narrowed his eyes and felt very emotional for a while. Half a month ago, Hinata was still lamenting that time passes too slowly. But the closer it is to the day of departure, the more Hinata feels that time passes too quickly. There is always a feeling of panic in his heart. Is Naruto also going with us? Just now, Hagoromo suddenly came and told him about Naruto. Hinata also took the opportunity to sneak out and relax for a while. Naruto, I haven't seen you for a long time. Well, actually it's not that long, just a few months. However, the changes in the past few months made Hinata feel as if she had been separated from them for a lifetime. In fact, this is also good. Team 7, only Kakashi is missing. Sure enough, he is a fraud. Chapter 629. There were 3 days left before the agreed time with Kaguya, and Hinata finally saw Naruto, who he hadn't seen for a long time. Unlike Naruto, who was defeated by Sasuke a few months ago, Naruto now can be described as high-spirited, and his eyes were shining with confidence. Training ground. Everyone has been waiting for a long time. Hearing the voice from afar, Naruto and Sasuke turned their heads at the same time, and saw Hinata pulling Kakashi all the way. Kakashi's eyes were rolled back, and his whole body was almost floating in the air. Arriving at the training ground, Hinata hung 2 small bells on Kakashi's waist. Let's play a game of snatching the bells. Hinata clapped his hands and consciously walked to stand between Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other across Hinata, and a strong feeling of friendship flashed at the intersection of the eyes. Boom! Golden light ignited. Naruto directly turned into a golden man, and under the blessing of Nine-Tails chakra, he entered the 6 paths mode, and 6 truth-seeking balls floated behind him. Well, although the person's appearance is average, he looks quite handsome. Hinata glanced at him. Naruto's 6 paths mode is a shortcut, similar to Hinata's Tenseigan chakra mode. It is a kind of bonus to the density and quality of chakra. With the help of the 6 paths Sannin, Naruto really has the body of a sage. Coupled with the floating characteristic of the truth-seeking balls, he already has the ability to fight in the air. Sasuke's eyes flashed with fighting spirit, and he instantly opened his Rinnegan. Single Eye 6 Tomo Rinnegan plus Single Eye Ordinary Rinnegan. Sasuke's body has a bit of a strange feeling. The same sage body, Rinnegan's bonus to combat power is obviously better than Naruto's Nine-Tails mode. However, the battle has never been based on the data on paper. Naruto returned with the belief that he will definitely defeat Sasuke. Hinata also opened his golden Tenseigan and the 6 Tomo Rinnegan on his forehead. coupled with the characteristics of gentle fist, the air around Hinata instantly became sticky. Well, to deal with these two rookies, there is no need to use the Tensigan chakra mode. There is no need to use a butte. Kakashi's expression was dull, and his whole person looked extremely decadent. Do you want to do this to me? But since it's the internal battle of Team 7, Kakashi also took it seriously, opened his forehead protector and revealed his Sharingan. After all, Hinata and the other two are Kakashi's disciples. If they don't struggle, it would be too shameful. Kakashi-sensei, let's start, Hinata said with a smile. As usual, the person who grabs the bell wins. Kakashi took a few steps back. His eyes were slightly dignified, and his temples were soaked with sweat. The pressure is too great. He didn't feel it before, but after taking a few steps back, Kakashi immediately felt the changes around his body. The air has become different. In such an environment, Kakashi felt that he can only use 70% of his strength at most. Sasuke glanced at Kakashi. Can't stand it? Sasuke has fought with Hinata, and dozens of times. In the case of Hinata's full power, the density of the air is almost the same as the deep sea thousands of meters below. Every movement will waste dozens of times more strength than usual, and their speed will be greatly limited. Under this pressure, no one can escape from Hinata's attack. If they can't withstand Hinata's gentle fist, as long as Hinata lightly touches them, their internal organs will instantly explode. It's really just a light touch. Sasuke has some doubts whether Hinata can directly kill a ninja like Kakashi with his momentum. Naruto also turned his head and looked at Hinata. Although Sasuke has always been Naruto's destined opponent, Hinata is the goal he wants to surpass. After all, they are all children who were beaten by Hinata since childhood. Kakashi's eyes were dignified. Start. As soon as the voice fell, Kakashi's pupils instantly enlarged. In the vision of the Sharingan, a golden figure appeared in front of him almost in an instant, and a hand touched the bell on his waist. And the terrible thing is that Kakashi's body can't make any reaction at all. The three-tomo Sharingan can't catch Naruto's speed at all. If Naruto didn't stop at the moment when he touched the bell, Kakashi can't see Naruto's speed at all. Bang! Sasuke's figure flashed in front of Kakashi. The Sharingan only caught the moment Sasuke kicked Naruto, and then the two figures disappeared. Too terrible. Kakashi's eyes were full of horror, and his back and forehead were full of cold sweat, and his body was stiff and almost couldn't move. Although he has always known that Hinata and Sasuke are very strong, and Naruto returned this time, it is obvious that he has grown to the same level. But in the case of not fighting, Kakashi can't intuitively feel the gap between the two sides. He even thought that even if the gap between the two sides is huge, with his strength he can still struggle. However, just at that moment, Kakashi really realized how terrible Hinata's level of strength is. This is not the power of the same dimension at all. The gap between Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi is so huge that the gap between Kakashi and ordinary people is a gap that can't be crossed. Bang! 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 There was a dense sound of fighting in the distance. There are only two bells for Sasuke. As long as he beats Naruto, he can easily get one. As for Kakashi, haha. If Kakashi wasn't his former teacher, Sasuke wouldn't even look at Kakashi's strength. Weak to the point that he can't arouse his interest at all. As for fighting Hinata, if it was in private, Sasuke wouldn't mind at all. Fighting Hinata in an environment with high air density and pressure is also a good exercise for oneself. But Sasuke doesn't want to be beaten by Hinata in front of Naruto and Kakashi. It is too shameful. Naruto wants to test Hinata's strength, but unfortunately, Sasuke won't give him this opportunity. Today, Sasuke just wants to beat Naruto and let him know who is the second in the team. Has he grown to this extent? Kakashi is somewhat gratified, but at the same time, he is more disappointed and helpless. He can't touch the level of Naruto and Sasuke at all. He doesn't even have the qualification to be an assessment teacher. This kind of sadness is something that outsiders can never understand. Ouch! Hinata doesn't feel the pain. Kakashi-sensei is now only in his 30s, and he still has a virgin body. If he works hard, there is still hope. Virgin? Virgin body. Kakashi is completely hit. The huge gap in strength is not as big as Hinata's words. The 10,000 times critical hit makes Kakashi's life lose color. Hinata turned to look at Naruto and Sasuke. The battle between the two is extremely fierce. Different from the original work, Naruto has a sage body, and his strength is obviously stronger than the original work. Sasuke also has a sage body. After absorbing Urushi's chakra, Sasuke's bloodline is closer to the Otsutsuki clan. The power of Rinnegan is far stronger than the original work. In contrast, Sasuke has the upper hand. Chapter 630. Hey, you guys are fighting in the sky. Seeing that Naruto and Sasuke were getting a little crazy, and Sasuke was about to kill, Hinata had to remind them loudly. The training ground was not big. Even if there was a forest around it, it would definitely not be able to withstand the destruction of strong people like Naruto and Sasuke. After all, this is only a training ground for ordinary people. Kakashi-sensei, come back to your senses. Hinata walked in front of Kakashi and waved his hand in front of Kakashi. Kakashi took a long breath and finally recovered his mind. But the shock in his eyes could not be calmed down for a long time. Kakashi used to be Tsunade's confidant and the former teacher of Hinata's team, so he knew some information about the Otsutsuki clan. Is this the power of that clan? Hinata curled his lips. That's it? They are still far from it. After showing off in front of Kakashi, Hinata was in a very good mood at the moment and didn't mind explaining to Kakashi. If you must compare, their strength in the Otsutsuki clan is probably equivalent to the Chunin of the ninja world. Chunin? Kakashi's face was full of shock. Chunin? Hinata sighed and nodded. According to the information given by Kagaya, the status of Naruto and Sasuke in the Otsutsuki clan is indeed equivalent to the Chunin of the ninja world. As for Hinata, elite Chunin? Or secret Jutsu Chunin? After all, there are stronger people above Kagaya. After the shock, Kakashi's heart was full of worries. How can the ninja world resist such a strong clan? Hinata, do you think they will really invade our world? Kakashi asked with concern. Aren't they already here? Hinata patted Kakashi's shoulder. Teacher Kakashi, even if you're old, don't give up. I'm still waiting to fight alongside you. Hinata pondered for a moment. But don't worry too much. The Otsutsuki clan doesn't have complete information about our world for the time being. They just lost a sacred tree and 2 more traitors. Even if they send someone, it will only be a Chunin. Kakashi was stunned at first, but he quickly understood. Perhaps in Kakashi's opinion, the ninja world is very big. But for the Otsutsuki clan who planted trees on countless planets in the universe, the ninja world is just a remote mountain village. Even in the ninja village era, such a task was enough to send a Chunin with a few genin. I understand. Kakashi's tone was low, as if he had made an important decision in his heart. Hinata also showed an expression that said, this kid is worth teaching. Kakashi is a person with talent, and he worked hard enough when he was a child, but when he grew up, he completely slacked off. When the organizations were raging, Kakashi worked hard for a while, but after the unification of the ninja world, Kakashi really completely gave up on himself, muddling through every day without any ambition. However, after Hinata's dojutsu advanced, Hinata has completely seen through Kakashi. Today, Kakashi has already developed the purple lightning, perfectly integrating the power of Yin release with lightning release, which can be said to be very destructive. Once Kakashi learns Senjutsu. Have you seen Rakuto Madara's lightning release? Senjutsu Purple Lightning is a unique skill that can cut off truth-seeking ball. Although Kakashi is old, he still has a future. Hinata continued to despise Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, this time Naruto, Sasuke, and I are on a mission together, but the leader is Otsutsuki Kagaya. With your talent, if you work hard from childhood, coupled with the ability of Manjikyu Sharingan, can you continue to lead us this time? Although Kagaya is strong, Kakashi is more experienced than her. Especially this kind of mission to sneak into the enemy's rear and steal the enemy's strategic materials. Kakashi didn't know how many times during the war. Kakashi pulled down his forehead protector and rolled his dead fish eyes. You really don't know what to say. Do you think everyone has cheats? Kakashi is self-aware. Even if he didn't fall, his highest achievement was nothing more than the level of 3 generations, 4th generations, and Jiraiya. Let's not talk about this. Hinata found a place to sit down casually. Let's just watch the two of them fight. After the fierce confrontation of taijutsu, Naruto and Sasuke both became serious. With the beginning of the confrontation of ninjutsu, Kakashi, who has poor eyesight, can also see the battle between the two. What an incredible power! Kakashi couldn't help but exclaim. If it weren't for Naruto and Sasuke fighting in the air and deliberately restraining themselves, the nearby terrain would have been destroyed, and even the Imperial City not far away would have been affected. Kakashi-sensei, you're here. Hinata called out and took out an interstellar map she drew from her backpack. Well, the style is very abstract. Kakashi came over. What's the matter? The star map of the universe is probably like this, composed of countless planets like our world. If the planet is suitable for survival, it must have life. Either it has no intelligence like animals, or it has intelligence like us humans. After a pause, Hinata continued to ask, if you lead a team to invade such a world and steal the strategic resources of the other side similar to the tailed beast, what would you do? Kakashi glanced at Hinata. What about the other party's information? Hey. Hinata curled his lips and motioned to Kakashi to look at Naruto and Sasuke. The weakest has the strength of them. As for the strongest, it's probably about the same as Kaguya. Personnel. 2 people. Kakashi said casually. That's easy. Although Kakashi doesn't know how strong Kaguya is, he knows the gap between Jonin and Chunin. A Jonin with 3 Chunin vs 2 Jonin. Or in the case of a sneak attack, it's almost impossible to fail. Hinata quickly added. There's another piece of information. It's almost impossible to kill an expert of Kaguya's level. In addition to sealing, you can only repel the opponent. That's the true power of immortality. Except for a stronger level of power, even Kaguya can't kill an expert of the same level. And, speaking of this, Hinata's face was also full of confusion. The sealing technique must not be exposed. This is a move that can really deal with the Otsutsuki clan. Once the sealing technique is exposed, after the other party is unsealed, the Otsutsuki clan will definitely chase us all over the universe. But if it's just repelling, Hinata shook his head. If it's just repelling, we will snatch their divine tree, and they will chase after us. Chapter 631. The problem that Hinata is worried about sounds a bit unrealistic. After all, even in the Otsutsuki clan, there are definitely not many powerhouses of the same level as Kaguya. But this problem is definitely not out of nothing. Take the combination of Momoshiki and Kinshiki as an example. If these 2 people are guarding the Tree of God, once someone snatches the Tree of God, they can absorb the Tree of God in advance to enhance their combat power. In addition, once the opponent is defeated, they can also escape with Yomi no Murasaka, and go back to report to the Otsutsuki clan. Because of this, how to kill 2 members of the Otsutsuki clan at the same time has become a problem that Hinata must consider. So, Kakashi pinched his chin with one hand and showed a thoughtful look. Hinata took the opportunity to explain the information he has in detail. Well, if this is the case, then before snatching the Tree of God, you must investigate the opponent's intelligence in advance. Kakashi said. If you encounter an opponent that you can't kill, you must immediately give up the mission. But how do we sneak in? Hinata asked. I understand what you said, but the opponent has mastered Senjutsu and has the ability of natural perception. And the Otsutsuki clan also has Byakugan. Everyone knows how to sneak in to inquire about information, but how to sneak in? Not to mention Hinata, even Naruto and Sasuke will never let an enemy of the same level sneak within 5 miles of them. Kakashi looked at Hinata in surprise. Even if the ability is the same, there will be a difference in strength. And ninjas can use not only their own abilities, but in special circumstances, using foreign objects can often achieve better results. Yes, when it comes to foreign objects, Hinata immediately thought of artificial satellites. With the help of artificial satellites, Hinata can definitely detect every move of the entire planet. Nodding, Hinata continued to ask, If the opponent is not so strong and belongs to the category of being able to kill, how to subdue the opponent at the same time, how to prevent the opponent from escaping. Even if you use space ninjutsu to get close to the opponent, as long as you can't kill the opponent in an instant, they can also use space ninjutsu to escape. Kakashi said indifferently. This can't be done. Kakashi has seen Namikaze Minato and Bordered Soil's space-time ninjutsu, and he has the same ability himself, so he naturally understands the difficulty of space-time ninjutsu. No one can kill a ninja who has mastered space-time ninjutsu unless they fight to the death. Subdue the opponent in an instant, or break the opponent's space-time ninjutsu. But every kind of ninjutsu has its flaws, even space-time ninjutsu is no exception. Don't forget how we subdued Bordered Soil. What kind of space-time ninjutsu? What kind of space ninjutsu? What kind of space-time ninjutsu? Hinata thought for a moment of shinjutsu, of the realms. Of the spaces, there's where. Kakashi frowned. Teleport to a place you haven't been to before? That's absolutely impossible. Space-time ninjutsu can't be used randomly. Flying Thunder God Jutsu needs a special technique to locate the coordinates. Kamui's teleportation seems to be unsolvable, but it also needs to locate the coordinates. Short-distance teleportation needs to rely on sight to locate the coordinates, and Bordered Soil's long-distance teleportation needs White Zetsu to locate the coordinates, or teleport to a place where he has been before. But the reason why Shinjutsu is regarded by Hinata as the most suitable space-time ninjutsu for interstellar travel is that Shinjutsu can teleport you to a place where you have never been before. This technique can be used to locate the coordinates. Hinata thought for a moment and explained. For example, I have never been to a place, but I think of it so I can teleport there. In fact, Hinata doesn't know the principle of this technique. After all, Shinjutsu is a dojutsu, not a ninjutsu that Hinata practiced. He can only use it, but he doesn't know the principle. But every time Hinata uses Shinjutsu, he has a feeling of I can go anywhere. And in addition to Shinjutsu, Hinata is also very concerned about the Otsutsuki Kinken's ability to turn into nothingness. That's a technique similar to Kamui, but he doesn't know how many people in the Otsutsuki clan have the same ability. If that's the case, Kakashi pondered for a moment and said, if the opponent can be killed, then the problem is actually very easy to solve. Hinata looked at Kakashi with surprise. Kakashi smiled and said, with your ability, if you suddenly attack, you can easily subdue an opponent, right? Hinata nodded. Naruto and Sasuke are useless, and the people of the Otsutsuki clan are not so easy to kill. Even if it's a sneak attack, these two may not be able to do it. But for Hinata and Kagaya, in the case of sneak attacking one person, the two of them can completely kill the opponent in an instant. Even if omniscience and omnipotence can't be exposed, the spiritual ball of Tensigen can completely control the opponent's will in an instant, and make the opponent automatically transform into chakra fruit. But the spiritual ball can't be exposed either. That's very simple. Kakashi looked at Hinata contemptuously. The only way not to expose yourself is never to keep a secret, but to make the people who know the secret shut up forever. Hinata rolled his eyes helplessly. Kakashi's meaning is very clear. Since they can kill the opponent in an instant, it's not a big deal to expose the Fuinjutsu, no one will know anyway. It's easy to say. Hinata shook his head. But that's two people. Except for Hinata, who can use omniscience and omnipotence to instantly kill one. I'm afraid that even Kagaya can't do it, right? Even if Kagaya uses Fuinjutsu, there is still a risk. In a universe where there are enemies everywhere and there is no support, Hinata must eliminate all potential risks. As long as one of the opponents escapes, Hinata and the other three will have to flee the universe. Perhaps some people will question, even in the Fuinjutsu universe, it's not that easy for the Otsutsuki clan to find someone, right? But if things were really that easy, it would be great. Take an example. Hinata doesn't know where Jiraiya is now, but if Hinata uses Yomi no Miyazaka, he can instantly teleport to Jiraiya's side. Because Hinata has seen Jiraiya, he can locate Jiraiya's coordinates by thinking. Yomi no Miyazaka. in less than an instant, appear at the door of the underworld. Maybe. Hinata suddenly thought of Kagaya and Ichiki. These two guys can hide for so long under the pursuit of the Otsutsuki clan. Maybe they have the ability to block Yomi no Miyazaka's location. Shaking his head, Hinata curled his lips and said, "Forget it, no matter what, we are bound to do it this time." Chapter 632. Huhuhu. Falling from a height of thousands of meters, Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other breathlessly. And there was only one person in their eyes. Cough. It should be that the fighting spirit in their eyes is still undiminished. Hinata has already closed the Tenseigan and Rinnegan, and only glanced at them with the Byakugan. It's still not long enough. Recovery is not good. In fact, Naruto can still last. After all, unlike the Fourth Shinobi World War, Naruto didn't share the Nine-Tails chakra with other ninjas. If he only uses it himself, it's enough to support Naruto for several battles. But Sasuke can't do it. Although Sasuke's recovery is also very strong, but there is a limit. If he can't defeat Naruto in a short time, he will definitely lose if he falls into a protracted battle. But this kind of battle can't use killing moves. Okay. Let's call it a day. Hinata said in a timely manner. We will set off the day after tomorrow. It's not good to hurt yourself. Naruto nodded, and very obediently returned from the Golden Man state to his normal state. Sasuke's eyes flashed with a trace of dissatisfaction. Although the two are still evenly matched so far, if they continue to fight, Sasuke will inevitably fall into a disadvantage. In the previous battle, Sasuke had several opportunities to subdue Naruto, but in order to see Naruto's limit, he chose to hold back, causing him to be in a difficult position now. With a light sigh, Sasuke closed the Rinnegan and looked at Naruto with a complicated look. This guy actually managed to catch up so quickly. Damn it. Sasuke clenched his fists unconsciously. Hinata and Kakashi looked at each other, and could only shake their heads helplessly. To be fair, Naruto and Sasuke's fate are actually similar, but in terms of the difficulty of using cheats, Sasuke is far more difficult than Naruto. No wonder Sasuke has been unconvinced. Let's go, Hinata said. It's rare for Team 7 to gather together today, and it's getting late. Let's find a place to have a good drink. Kakashi rolled his dead fish eyes and took out a bottle of heaven from the ninja bag. You are not old enough to drink yet, Hinata said with his hands on his hips. I can change this law. Kakashi. People always say that things remain the same, but people change. Time passes quickly. Although it's only been 3 years, the world has changed too fast. Although the four of them are still the same as 3 years ago, there seems to be a layer of estrangement and isolation between them. Kakashi is still holding the bottle of heaven. Naruto often makes jokes that make him embarrassed. Sasuke has a cold face. After Hinata ate and drank, he chatted with Kakashi and Naruto about their own things. Everything seems to be the same as before, but the atmosphere between the four of them is inexplicably a little awkward. It's hard to say where the problem is. Maybe everyone has grown up and is no longer as simple as before. Maybe it's also because this is not Shinobu. People come and go. Most of them are unfamiliar faces. This is probably the difference between living in a small place and a big city. Hinata still remembers the enthusiasm and kindness between neighbors when he lived in his hometown in his previous life. When he grew up and went to a big city, he was not familiar with his neighbors. He doesn't know whether this change is good or bad. For the first time, Hinata suspected that he may not have done anything good. Maybe in a few decades, there will only be interests left to talk about between people. Although the past life is often accompanied by bloody rain and wind, when they return to their respective villages, they can still feel the warmth of peace and tranquility. Maybe this is what it means to have gains and losses. In short, be careful when you go out. No one can support you outside. Kakashi put the bottle of heaven back into the ninja bag and said without sincerity, If you are lucky enough, let's meet again next time. As soon as he finished speaking, Kakashi's body flickered as he left. Hinata curled his lips in disdain. Although he looks down on Kakashi's behavior of escaping, Hinata doesn't want to say goodbye to Kakashi affectionately. It's good that he left. Then let's go back. Hinata got up and said, We will leave in the evening the day after tomorrow. Remember to prepare the luggage in advance. especially the seal scroll. Naruto looked at Hinata in confusion and said in surprise, "In the evening? Isn't that too late?" "There is no difference between day and night in space," Hinata explained. "And I have to sleep until the afternoon, and I am most energetic at night." Naruto Sasuke. After saying goodbye to Naruto and Sasuke, Hinata found Otsutsuki Kagaya again. "This is?" Hinata looked around. "This is the origin sphere of heaven defense?" Hinata is actually very interested in this move of heaven defense, but unfortunately, he can't point out this dojutsu. Heaven defense. Weave space freely, the power of the ancestor after opening his eyes. There is a movable space in heaven defense, and the movable space is connected to the origin sphere. Kagaya can absorb the chakra of the person who has infinite Tsukuyomi in the origin sphere to improve his strength. Perhaps it can be understood like this. Once the white Zetsu is successfully cultivated, Kagaya can absorb all the white Zetsu through the origin sphere. At this moment, Kagaya was floating quietly in the air, looking calmly at Hinata, who suddenly appeared. Hinata flew over. "Let me ask you a question," Hinata asked directly. "Is there a way to block the jutsu like Yamazu Ryasaka?" To be honest, Hinata doesn't believe that the Otsutsuki clan will come to the shinobi world to trouble Kagaya after 1,000 years. Either there is internal strife in this clan, or they can't find the interstellar coordinates of the shinobi world, which is why they wasted 1,000 years. Kagaya's expression was calm, and she said, "Only Yamazu Ryasaka can fight against Yamazu Ryasaka." "Oh." Hinata nodded, and then he was a little puzzled. "But why can't I do it?" Hinata still remembered that Kagaya attacked him at night that night, but she refused to sleep with Hinata. Kagaya looked at Hinata calmly and didn't seem to have the desire to explain. Well, this 1,000-year-old woman may not know how to explain the principle of jutsu. After all, she didn't study this kind of thing before. Hinata opened the space gate and carefully experienced the feeling of passing through the space gate, especially the moment when he was in the space gate. Outer space. Hinata floated quietly, and the shinobi world under his feet had become a small ball. The space gate opened again, and Hinata was once again far away from the shinobi world. This time, the planet where the shinobi world is located has become the size of a glass bead. In less than an instant, he appeared at the door of the underworld. Recalling the introduction of Yamazu Ryasaka, and feeling the feeling of passing through the space gate, Hinata has faintly realized the principle of this technique. Chapter 633. After several consecutive experiments, Hinata realized that Yomiuri was definitely not as simple as a space gate. In addition to the principle of space, this move also involves the route between the two worlds of Yin and Yang. This is the road to Yomiuri. In the ninja world, after death, humans will enter the Pure Land world, the so-called underworld. Although Hinata doesn't know what the Pure Land world looks like, since the dead of the ninja world can enter the Pure Land world, then the dead of other planets may also be able to enter the Pure Land world. If the Pure Land world is connected to the universe, then Yomiuri may be determining the coordinates through the Pure Land world. Well, all of this is just Hinata's guess. As for the specifics, he needs to study it carefully. Without wasting too much time, Hinata opened the space gate again and returned to the ninja world, and ordered the servants to prepare the things needed for space travel. 3 days passed in a flash. Before leaving, Hinata went to the Ryuchi cave again, and integrated the sacred tree with himself. Outside the ninja world, Hinata, Naruto, Sasuke, and Otsutsuki Kagaya floated quietly in the outer space, looking at the planet under their feet, speechless for a long time. Hinata didn't say goodbye to anyone. After all, what needs to be said has been said, and what needs to be arranged has been arranged properly. For ninjas, going out to perform tasks is too normal. And there are many people who go out and don't return. No one will say goodbye to ninjas who go out to perform tasks, and no one will greet the ninjas who return from the task. Ninjas will only say goodbye in front of the tombstone. Let's take a last look. Hinata didn't have his usual laziness at this moment. After 16 years, this is Hinata's only real adventure. In the past, Hinata had absolute confidence and trump cards to ensure that he wouldn't be in danger. Only this time Hinata really didn't have confidence. What is all of this for? Hinata asked himself more than once. Why did he do such a thing? Thinking back to his original ambition, he wanted to inherit the Hyuga family and become the village's Naruto consultant. Every day he would drink tea, eat snacks, bask in the sun and fish. Wouldn't it be nice to retire peacefully? Alas! Now that things had come to this, Hinata could only sigh softly and gloomily said, "The next time we come back, it might be a few years later. Perhaps he would never come back in this lifetime." Sasuke's expression was still cold, and Huiye's expression was also calm. However, Naruto's expression was complicated, and it was unknown what he was thinking. The planet beneath their feet slowly rotated. When the planet turned to the other side, Hinata signaled Huiyi to open the spatial gate. He turned to Naruto and Sasuke and said, "Let's go." Carrying the hopes of everyone on this planet, if we don't want to be enslaved by the Otsutsuki clan, we have to redouble our efforts. Naruto instantly recovered and shouted, "Let's go!" Sasuke snorted softly, and was the first to get into the spatial gate. Coming out of the spatial gate, Hinata looked around. They were in the void of the universe, surrounded by countless large and small planets, colorful and gorgeous. At a glance, the largest khaki-colored planet was above Hinata's group of 4. The huge gravity of the planet made Hinata feel like he was upside down. It's so big. Naruto was stunned. If you compare the ninja world with this khaki-colored planet in front of them, it's like the difference between a glass bead and a basketball. Naruto and Sasuke, who have never seen the world, were stunned. There is no life on this planet. Hinata glanced roughly, then turned to look in the direction of the star. It's really super big. Naruto, Sasuke, the two of you wait here, Hinata ordered. Kagaya and I will look around and look for a planet with life. Kagaya looked at Hinata and said, "Feel it." Hinata was taken aback when he heard this. Then he calmed down and perceived the surroundings. There is so little natural energy here. Not to mention compared to the 3 Holy Lands, even compared to the ninja world, the natural energy here is dozens of times less. Hinata asked curiously, "Are the other galaxies in the universe like this?" Kagaya slowly shook her head. "The environment here is not suitable for planting trees at all." "Then what are you doing here?" Hinata was about to ask, but he heard Kagaya continue. 1,000 years ago, there was a god tree in this galaxy. Hinata followed Otsutsuki Kagaya's gaze, and saw a yellow and blue planet floating quietly in the void of the universe. "It seems that this place has been abandoned," Kagaya said faintly. "This is the edge of the Otsutsuki clan's forces. Let's take a look nearby first." "Edge of forces?" Sasuke frowned slightly and asked thoughtfully, "How far is the ninja world from here?" Sure enough, she is very keen. Hinata looked at Sasuke with appreciation, then turned to look at Kagaya, waiting for her answer. The planet where the ninja world is located is not within the sphere of influence of the Otsutsuki clan. That starfield belongs to the land of exile. It can only be said that a planet like the ninja world appeared in that starfield by accident. Sasuke continued to ask, "Will the Otsutsuki clan plant a god tree in the land of exile?" Kagaya said faintly, "As long as it is a place with abundant natural energy, it can plant a god tree. The Otsutsuki clan will send clansmen to look for such a place everywhere." In the starfield where the ninja world is located, there is only one planet suitable for planting god tree. For such a place, the Otsutsuki clan will send clansmen to guard the border, so it is called the land of exile. Sasuke nodded slightly, then continued to ask, "The natural energy here is weak. Is it because of the planting of god tree?" Some clansmen, in order to gain power, will control the god tree to accelerate the absorption of natural energy, thus transforming the excess chakra into themselves. This is the edge of the land. The main clan will not care. Kagaya said coldly, "At present, it will take at least a few hundred years for this place to recover." Speaking of this, Kagaya opened her Byakugan and looked at the yellow and blue planet in the distance. "Has it been sacrificed?" Hinata asked curiously. "What do you mean by sacrificed?" Kagaya was silent for a moment, then slowly said, "It is the infinite Tsukuyomi." Infinite. Infinite. Reading. Naruto was confused. He couldn't understand what Hinata and the other two were talking about. Hinata and Sasuke looked at each other. They already knew the fate of all life on that planet. If Kagaya used infinite Tsukuyomi 1,000 years ago to cultivate white Zetsu, then the second time Kagaya used infinite Tsukuyomi in the original work was to sacrifice all life in the ninja world, to absorb the vitality of all life and integrate it into oneself. Although this kind of thing is not common in the Otsutsuki clan, there will always be some crazy people who will do anything to improve their strength and prolong their life. Chapter 634. Desolate and uninhabited. Entering the atmosphere of the planet, looking at the lush primitive forest under his feet, and the ruins of the city at the end of his field of vision, Hinata couldn't help but sigh. Except for some small animals, there are no signs of intelligent life on this planet. Looking at the ruins of the city in the distance, this place has been abandoned for at least hundreds of years. Sasuke couldn't help but clench his fists. Although he has always known that the Otsutsuki clan is the biggest threat to the shinobi world, Sasuke didn't have a clear understanding. But seeing the miserable state of the planet in front of him, the war between the civilizations of the universe is really cruel. The ruined planet made Hinata have no desire to continue to visit. Shaking his head, Hinata looked at Kagaya and said, "Let's go. Let's go to the next galaxy." Through the space gate, Hinata and the other three entered space again. Different galaxy, dazzling stars exuded a slightly white light. This time the coordinates were very accurate, and Hinata and the other three were on a planet that gave birth to life. Standing outside the atmosphere and looking down at the inside of the planet, the light green planet has a different kind of beauty. Hinata sensed the natural energy. It's okay. Although the density is not as good as the shinobi world, in Hinata's opinion, it's already very good, at least several times stronger than the previous galaxy. Hinata turned to look at Kagaya. Kagaya nodded and said, "Natural energy is the foundation of life, and the damage here is not too serious." Hinata nodded thoughtfully. It seems that the shinobi world is really a treasure land. No wonder a sacred tree can give birth to a strong person like Kagaya. Opening the seal scroll. Boom! In a burst of smoke, 9 puppet satellites appeared in front of Hinata. Tensigen. Eye-opening. After activating the satellites, Hinata controlled the 9 satellites to move in different directions. Visual link. In the black and white vision, everything on the light green planet appeared in front of Hinata's eyes. Well, this place is different from the ninja world. The intelligent life here doesn't have chakra, and the technological civilization here is also very backward. During this space trip, Hinata was actually looking forward to meeting a technological civilization, especially one with super advanced technology. After all, in terms of enjoyment, a technological civilization would surpass a cultivation civilization. Found it, Hinata said excitedly. The Tree of God, and the Otsutsuki clan's guardian. From the looks of chakra, these two people's strength should be about the same as Pushur, but they should be very old. This is... Hinata was stunned for a moment, then he sneered and said, "These two really know how to play. They even built a temple for themselves and let the people of this planet worship them." Speaking up to here, Hinata could not help but glance at Huiyi. 1,000 years ago, Kagaya was also a goddess worshipped by the ninja world. However, thinking of the ability of the Otsutsuki clan, all this is understandable. If Hinata suddenly appeared on a planet without chakra and casually used a few ninjutsu, he would be mistaken by the indigenous people as a god. What should we do next? As soon as he heard that the opponent was only at the level of Pushur, Sasuke suddenly became a little impatient. Fortunately, before departure, Hinata had already told Sasuke, Naruto, and Huiyi the taboo of this trip, otherwise Sasuke would be excited again. Naruto also became serious. Seeing the tragic situation of the last planet, Naruto can't be indifferent, especially this time the mission of looking for the Tree of God is to protect the ninja world. Let me think. Hinata pinched his chin and pondered for a moment. I can subdue one of them in an instant. Kagaya can also. But if the opponent wants to run, Sasuke, you use Heavenly Hand to exchange the opponent's position. Sasuke nodded. Understood. What about me? What about me? Naruto looked at Hinata expectantly. You? Hinata looked at Naruto seriously for a while. You just follow the output. Naruto's pure physical output really can't play much role in this kind of battle. After all, there are Hinata and Kaguya who are more powerful than Naruto, and both of them have control skills. Action. Hinata no longer talked nonsense and disappeared in an instant. Kaguya also opened the space door at the same time and took Naruto and Sasuke into it. A magnificent lookout. A gray-skinned Otsutsuki clan member stood at the highest point of the lookout, looking through the window at the god tree not far away that pierced the sky, his eyes full of greed. Even in the Otsutsuki clan, the god tree is an absolute treasure. Although a member of the main family like him can get a chakra fruit when he reaches adulthood, it is only the most ordinary chakra fruit, and can't get eternal life. He is already old. Maybe he will die in a few decades. The only way to extend his life is to swallow a second chakra fruit or merge with a god tree. But the god tree in front of him needs at least 200 years to bear fruit. And even if the god tree bears fruit, the fruit has to be handed over to the main family for distribution. But if he merged with the god tree, that is tantamount to betraying the Otsutsuki clan. For countless years, there are too many people who betrayed the family for power and life. Some people died, some disappeared, but in the end they will still die. His eyes glanced at the other temple, without leaving a trace. It is said to be companions, but in fact it is to supervise each other. The Otsutsuki clan member is a little uncertain. If he does nothing, he can at least live for a few more decades. But if he takes the risk to merge with the god tree, he can live for at least a few hundred years, and even touch that level of power. Of course, once he merges with the god tree, he is most likely to be hunted to death by the main family. Maybe, by sacrificing the life on this planet, I can live for a few more years. But this is not a long-term solution after all. What should I do? An inexplicable crisis made the hair on the back of the Otsutsuki clan member stand up instantly. Could it be that guy can't help but make the first move? No. My chakra. Without giving the Otsutsuki clan member any chance, Hinata directly launched the omniscient and omnipotent Yin and Yang seal in outer space, and instantly sealed the chakra in his body. Floating behind the Otsutsuki clan member, Hinata stretched out his right hand, and the golden spiritual ball quietly floated above his palm. Go. The spiritual ball entered the Otsutsuki clan member's body, suddenly trembled, and his originally frightened expression slowly calmed down. So I am already so strong. Hinata was a little smug. This is too easy, and it is completely different from what I imagined at the beginning. Boom. With a loud bang, the other lookout exploded, and the four figures instantly entangled together, and then disappeared. Heaven's defense. Fighting in the space of Heaven's defense is definitely advantageous for Kaguya, as long as he doesn't give the other party a chance to escape. Chapter 635. TSK. Hinata circled around and floated in front of the Otsutsuki clan member. He pinched his chin with his left hand and carefully looked at the Otsutsuki in front of him. With Hinata's current golden Tensigen, the control of the spiritual sphere has been greatly enhanced. Not only the control, but even the exploration of the brain's memory has been enhanced. In the Otsutsuki clan, the status of the main family is supreme, and they control the entire clan. The main family is second. The main family members can obtain a chakra fruit when they reach adulthood, and then they are sent to other planets by the main family to guard the sacred tree. The branch family has the lowest status, basically equivalent to servants. However, although the main family is powerful, the Otsutsuki clan is not harmonious. Strength and lifespan are the highest pursuit of all life. In order to obtain great strength and eternal lifespan, betrayal and resistance have always been the main theme of the Otsutsuki clan. The main family usurps power, the main family betrays, and the branch family desires to go further. We can make use of this. Well, I'll discuss it with Sasuke later. With a decision, Hinata didn't hesitate and controlled the Otsutsuki clan member through the spiritual sphere, making him voluntarily transform into the chakra fruit. In fact, rather than a transformation, it is better to say that it is self-stripping. Even if the power of the chakra fruit is strong, It is not a power obtained through cultivation. The chakra fruit is still a foreign object in nature. Although it can be integrated with the body, it can be separated by sacrificing one's life. Sacrificing one's own life to expel the fruit that is integrated with the body. This is the whole process of transformation. When the Otsutsuki clan member completely disappeared, Hinata stretched out his right hand, and a chakra fruit slowly floated to Hinata's hand. Eat. Hinata hesitated for a moment, and finally took a bite without hesitation. The taste is not bad. A huge vitality slowly flowed along Hinata's esophagus to Hinata's whole body, and finally merged with Hinata's body and integrated into all the cells in his body, becoming the original power that can be used to refine chakra. Hinata tried to refine chakra. Boom! The surging chakra was like a tsunami that swept out in all directions. Everything in the room instantly collapsed under this invisible force, turning into fine powder that drifted in the air. Hinata exhaled softly. Not bad. The amount of chakra increased by 1.5 times. It wasn't difficult to control it, but it didn't increase his overall strength significantly. The amount of chakra is never the main factor to measure a ninja's strength. If there is no qualitative improvement, absorbing this chakra fruit will at most improve Hinata's endurance. Perhaps his lifespan had also increased. However, Hinata no longer cared about his lifespan. The natural energy stored in the yin-yang seal was enough for Hinata to live for thousands of years. Of course, the premise was that Hinata didn't court death himself. It's not over yet. Hinata floated out of the temple, and looked at the other temple that had been reduced to ruins with a dissatisfied expression. What were these three doing? Why did it take so long to deal with this kind of weakling? Hinata was wondering if he should go in and help them when he saw Naruto, Sasuke, and Kagaya appear out of thin air. Sasuke was carrying a tattered corpse on his shoulder. Done. Hinata quickly flew over. Sasuke nodded. Yes. The Otsutsuki clan was very difficult to kill. It took a lot of effort. What about your side? Hinata raised his chin and spread out his hands. Ashes. The Otsutsuki clan was indeed difficult to kill. Even if the opponent was only at the level of Urushi, it wasn't easy to capture them. Hinata decisively chose to hide the fact that he could transform the Otsutsuki clan into chakra fruit. This ability was too annoying. Although Hinata and Kagaya were now working together, once Kagaya knew that Hinata had the ability to transform her into chakra fruit, she would immediately fight Hinata to the death. This was an ability that couldn't be reassured. Amazing! Naruto shouted heartlessly. We obviously spent so much effort to defeat him. Sasuke glanced at Naruto. Idiot. Probably only Naruto and Kagaya would believe Hinata's words. What should we do next? Sasuke looked at Hinata. How could 4 people divide a divine tree? This operation went very smoothly. If we don't expose our whereabouts, we may be able to grab more divine trees. Hinata suggested. Anyway, the Otsutsuki clan doesn't have the ability to see through the past. They don't know who stole the divine tree. We can definitely frame this person for stealing the divine tree. Hinata raised his chin and gestured to the Otsutsuki clan. Let's hide it as long as we can. As for the divine tree, Hinata turned his head and looked at the divine tree not far away. Let's divide the divine tree equally. Anyway, we can grab more divine trees. This divine tree can be given to one of us. Which one of you is interested? Kagaya didn't speak. This time she didn't bring Black Zetsu. She wasn't a particularly smart person. Anyway, for Kagaya, it was enough to grab the divine tree. However, for the divine tree in front of her, Kagaya expressed little interest. With Kagaya's eyesight, she could naturally see that the divine tree in front of her not only didn't grow, but it was also equivalent to the kind of stunted growth. Compared with the divine tree of the ninja world, it was like the difference between a sapling and a towering tree. Although Naruto was curious, he wasn't very interested. Hinata looked at it and finally said to Sasuke, Sasuke, this divine tree will be given to you first. When we grab the next one, the 3 of us will divide it. In fact, Hinata wasn't very interested in this kind of divine tree. It wasn't as good as the one in Urushi. And this divine tree hasn't borne fruit yet. In contrast, the benefits of directly transforming the Otsutsuki clan member into chakra fruit is greater. Good. Sasuke nodded, and a hint of excitement flashed in his eyes. This time he came out with Hinata to get stronger and stand at the top of the universe, so that the name Uchiha will shake the universe. Hinata turned his gaze to the corpse of the Otsutsuki clan member. This person. Looking at the wound on the corpse, it was undoubtedly Kagaya who made the final blow. And with Kagaya's fighting characteristics, this kind of wound was made by the Otsutsuki clan member. There was no need to arrange the scene at all. 2 Otsutsuki, one disappeared, the other died under the move of the Otsutsuki clan. And even the divine tree disappeared. Judging from the past history of the Otsutsuki clan, this is obviously a clan member who killed people in order to rob the divine tree. Especially now there is a gap in information. And with the pride of the Otsutsuki clan, I'm afraid they would never dream that there would be someone in this universe who dared to kill the Otsutsuki clan member, and even took their divine tree. Chapter 636. Naruto, go look around and see if there's anything to eat. Sasuke still needed some time to absorb the tree. And since there was nothing else to do, Hinata thought about tasting the food of the alien planet. Like fruits, small animals, anything is fine. Okay. Naruto scratched his head and ran away. Try to come back as soon as possible, Hinata reminded loudly. Looking around, Kagaya had been floating in the air, looking into the distance, and no one knew what she was looking at. What a big surprise. Finding a stone to sit on, Hinata watched Sasuke absorb the tree while thinking about what to do next. Seriously speaking, it was less than an hour since Hinata and the others left the ninja world. Yomibai was indeed the most suitable jutsu for interstellar travel, and it only took a moment to travel between 2 galaxies. Today's operation seemed to be going smoothly, especially on Hinata's side, almost instantly subduing the opponent. But thinking about it carefully, without Sasuke's heavenly hand, it would have been difficult for Kagaya to make the opponent stay. Even if Kagaya had the upper hand in a one-on-one battle, the opponent could have used Yomibai to escape. Tsuke. Bringing Sasuke here was a wise decision. The tactical value of the heavenly hand was definitely the highest among all the jutsu in space-time. Whoosh. While Hinata was thinking, Sasuke had already absorbed the tree and instantly appeared in front of Hinata. 6 Tomo Rinnegan in both eyes. Looks good. Hinata gave a thumbs up and then asked curiously, have you awakened a new dojutsu? Sasuke shook his head. I'm not sure yet, I need some time to adapt to it. Okay. Hinata smiled and said, I asked Naruto to find food. Let's try the food of the alien planet first, and then set off to the next galaxy. Sasuke looked at Hinata coldly. You can use transformation jutsu to blend into the city. That's right. Hinata. Don't worry. If Naruto is smart enough, he will sneak into the city and bring back the food, Hinata said confidently. Sasuke resisted the urge to roll his eyes. He didn't think that Naruto would be so smart. At the thought of Hinata forcing him to learn how to cook from Orochimaru, Sasuke wished he could leave this place immediately. Once Naruto came back from hunting, Sasuke swore that Hinata would force him to cook. This operation went very smoothly. With nothing to do, Sasuke took the initiative to find a topic. According to what you said before, the people who guard the sacred tree need to provide chakra to the Otsutsuki clan every once in a while. Hinata nodded. Sasuke frowned and asked, how long is the interval between the 2 supply of chakra? According to the ninja world's time, about 8 years. When he used the spiritual ball to control Otsutsuki, Hinata had already checked the memories in this regard. Now there are 42 months of ninja world's time before these 2 people provide chakra to the Otsutsuki clan. That is 3.5 years. 3.5 years? Sasuke said confidently. In that case, we still have plenty of time. 3.5 years is enough for us to sweep through hundreds of galaxies. Sasuke is dreaming. Hinata rolled his eyes, shook his head and said, Sasuke, you have to understand that the sacred tree is, after all, a foreign object, not a power that we get through cultivation. Sasuke. Question mark. Hinata reminded. Check your body yourself. Sasuke sat down cross-legged and carefully checked whether there was any problem in his body. It's a hidden danger, but it's not a big problem. Just like in the original manga, after Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Bordered Soil became the Jubi's Jinchuriki, their skin turned gray, and their bodies also changed. After fusing with the sacred tree, if you can't suppress it with your own strength, your body appearance will change. Looking at the Otsutsuki clan, this may be the only hidden danger of fusing with the sacred tree. But Hinata thought about it carefully. Is there really such a good thing in this world? There's no need to cultivate hard, just fuse with the sacred tree, constantly absorb chakra, and swallow the chakra fruit, and you can improve your life level and enhance your own strength? A pie in the sky? But after seeing Sasuke fusing with the sacred tree, Hinata really discovered that there really is such a good thing in this world. It's just that every time after fusing with the sacred tree, it will take some time to digest it. If you continuously fuse with the sacred tree in a short period of time, and continuously swallow the chakra fruit, then the final result will be indigestion, and you may explode and die. So that's how it is. After a while, Sasuke opened his eyes and understood the limit of his body. Different people, the limit of absorption should be different, Hinata explained. After all, it's your first time fusing, and you still need some time to adapt and control the sudden surge of power. In contrast, the limit of Hinata's absorption now is much higher than Sasuke's. Hinata can eat at least 3 more chakra fruits of the previous level. Hinata, Sasuke suddenly said with some worry. I think what you said is very reasonable. It's impossible for there to be no hidden dangers like this. Hinata? Question mark. What did you find? Hinata was a little curious. Sasuke shook his head. Nothing. I just feel that it's all too easy. Sasuke still remembered how hard he worked when he was a teenager. In order to defeat Hinata, Sasuke gave up all entertainment activities except for the necessary rest time, and worked hard on the training ground almost day and night. However, even so, Sasuke's improvement was still minimal. But now, with just one sacred tree, Sasuke can feel his skyrocketing strength. It's too easy. It's too abnormal. Listening to the conversation between Hinata and Sasuke, Otsutsuki Kagaya couldn't help but roll his eyes and almost laughed out loud. If there was a problem with the sacred tree, the Otsutsuki clan would have been wiped out long ago. Yes. Sasuke turned to look at the Otsutsuki clan member. What should we do with this person? This guy's strength is not bad. If we use a seal, maybe we can peel off the chakra and the sacred tree from his body. Yes. Hinata slapped his forehead. Although the transformation of the chakra fruit must be voluntary, if the seal is used, the sacred tree can be separated. Rikudo Sannin once separated the Geto Mazo and Kagaya. Hinata also absorbed the Urastyle chakra. Forget it. Hinata thought for a while and said, let's leave this guy here. One Otsutsuki disappeared, the other died, and the sacred tree is gone. If you were the Otsutsuki clan member, what would you think? Sasuke looked at Hinata coldly. Why are you as idiotic as Naruto? Next, we may attack several, or even more than a dozen galaxies ruled by the Otsutsuki clan in a row. Will all the galaxies rebel at the same time? Hinata. Chapter 637. Alas. Hinata sighed softly. He was indeed a little thoughtless. This kind of fratricidal situation in one place may be able to be hidden from the Otsutsuki clan. But if there is a rebellion in dozens of galaxies together, even a fool will know that something is wrong. Then what do you think we should do? Hinata asked. As long as we don't expose our identities, the Otsutsuki clan won't be able to find the ninja world. Sasuke said coldly. As for a few years later, humph. Even if we don't do anything, they will still find us. Okay. Then I will listen to you. Hinata turned to look at Otsutsuki's body and said, seal this guy and bring him back. Sasuke nodded, took out the seal scroll from the ninja tool bag, and prepared the sealing technique. After the picnic, Hinata took Naruto and Sasuke to secretly experience the local customs of a different planet. After shopping for several hours, they bought a lot of local specialties, and Hinata was satisfied and followed Kagaya to the next galaxy. The hunt for Otsutsuki officially began. With the first successful experience, the next few sneak attacks were very smooth. The Otsutsuki clan has been comfortable for too long, and every Otsutsuki clan member has developed a supercilious character. They don't believe that there is anyone in this universe who dares to resist them. 2 Otsutsuki clan members are guarding a divine tree. Hinata can subdue one person in an instant with omniscience, Yin-Yang Seal, Spiritual Ball, and other moves. Kagaya, Naruto, and Sasuke together also have the hardcore strength to crush one person. Sasuke's heavenly hand can prevent the other party from using Yomiuri to escape. In the absence of a powerhouse of Kagaya's level, Hinata and the other 3 will kill them. In less than 2 days after leaving the ninja world, Hinata and the other 3 even killed 8 Otsutsuki clan members. And in these 2 days at least 90% of the time was spent eating, strolling the streets of the alien planet, buying local specialties, appreciating the local customs of the alien planet, and so on. If it weren't for Hinata's delay, I'm afraid that the hunting time of 8 Otsutsuki would have been shortened to less than 2 hours. Too lousy. Smack. Smack. Munching on a chakra fruit, Hinata couldn't help but complain. To think that I was so careful before coming here. These Otsutsuki are so easy to deal with. Fine. In fact, the strength of the Otsutsuki clan was not weak. If any of the 8 people who died went to the shinobi world, I'm afraid that no one in the shinobi world can stop them. It could only be said that the strength of Hinata for people was too strong. This was especially so for Hinata's ocular technique, which simply destroyed the balance of the universe. If the universe had a will, it would have given Hinata a title. Have I finally reached the limit? In just 2 days, Hinata ate a total of 4 chakra fruits and a sacred tree, and the chakra in his body grew almost explosively. Hinata can feel that if he continues to absorb the chakra fruit, he's afraid that he won't be able to control the skyrocketing chakra. I'm full, it's time to digest. And the best way to digest is cough. This time, coming out with Kagaya, Hinata can be regarded as a person who has seen the world. In the future, even if he doesn't follow Kagaya, Hinata can come out alone to hunt Otsutsuki. Next, Hinata is ready to polish chakra and use his talent to completely integrate the power of the 4 chakra fruits and a sacred tree to reach the realm of unification. As long as he continues to integrate, Hinata feels that he is not far from Kagaya's realm. Oh, that's right. It's worth mentioning that in Hinata's backpack, there are 3 sealing scrolls with Otsutsuki. Isn't there a saying, if you can't eat, you have to bear the consequences? These 3 Otsutsuki are what Hinata and the others can't eat, so they are going to pack it up and take it back to the ninja world to slowly taste it. Who slowing down his mind, Hinata carefully felt the changes in his body. The huge vitality is like the source of life, providing Hinata with inexhaustible power. The cells in the body are like stars that emit fluctuations of life. There is no need for Hinata to deliberately refine it, and the Senjutsu chakra is born naturally. It's endless and inexhaustible. Of course, this is just Hinata's illusion. Hinata can't leave natural energy now, and the chakra in his body also has a limit. Even Kagaya is the same, she also has a limit. It's just that under normal circumstances, the chakra consumed by Kagaya is far less than the chakra she recovers. The real inexhaustible source is the power above Kagaya's. The energy in the body naturally operates and interacts with each other. An endless vitality and natural energy can be born. Reaching this realm, even if the natural energy in the universe is exhausted, one can still be immortal and eternal. This is Hinata's current pursuit and ideal. This is spatial fluctuation? Without any warning, Naruto, Sasuke, and Kagaya appeared at the same time. With a bang, Otsutsuki's body was thrown to the ground by Sasuke. The 8th one. Sasuke's face was full of long Outyen's expression. Now even the arrogant Otsutsuki clan was trampled under the foot of Uchiha's name. Hinata took out the seal scroll and threw it to Sasuke. Pack this up and take it away. After leaving the ninja world for 2 days, Hinata, Naruto, and Sasuke each got a divine tree. As for the current divine tree, it should be given to Kagaya. However, Naruto and Sasuke have now reached their limits. With their control, they can only control the power of one divine tree for a short time. And Hinata has now reached saturation because of eating 4 more chakra fruits. So next, let Kaguya eat until she is full. As for the 4 otsutsuki that were packed away, according to Kaguya, they are dispensable things. Chicken ribs. Tasteless food, a pity to throw away. Even if the seal can strip the divine tree and chakra, it is estimated that no one dares to rashly merge with the divine tree. At most, they will absorb a little chakra. Although the otsutsuki are dead, who knows if they died thoroughly enough, and whether there will still exists in the divine tree. These are unpredictable hidden dangers. Only the chakra fruit is harmless, because the chakra fruit is transformed from one's own will, sacrificing all one's vitality to perfectly strip the chakra fruit. Of course, the wild divine tree is also purely natural and harmless. Boom! With a burst of smoke, the otsutsuki was sealed in the scroll by Sasuke, and then through to Hinata. If everything goes well, we can go back in 5 days at most. Sasuke said coldly, when we are strong enough, it will be the end of the Otsutsuki clan. Hinata, I have prepared food for several years, but in the end I have been eating food from a different planet for the past 2 days, and I have also packed a lot of local specialties. Fortunately, Sasuke, a second-level chef, can be used. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.